Hi, I'm Claire, your intuitive reader. Am I reading your story? Let's find out. I hope you're doing great. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please stay for the story. If you're returning, you know how I read and I tell a story, and I hope you stay for the whole thing. I hope everyone's doing great. I'm so happy you're here. Let's get to the story. So in preparing, I used the, I forget it's called, something Beyond Lumeria Oracle Cards. Love this deck. It's beautiful. Love the art. Love the wording in the book. Just love everything about it. The first card I got was Stepping Through, and you can't see anything, so don't worry. It's more PG than you think. Stepping through, and she's in the lotus. She's stepping out of it. This is that purple energy, that crystalline energy, protection bubbles, and this has got the blue lotus flowers. They're purple, but this blue and a hummingbird, butterflies, hearts in the bubbles. I mean, this is just really great energy. It's telling me that you are stepping through into your purpose. You are no longer holding on to, just being like, oh yes, I'm 3D and that's all I can be. It's like you're really embodying that, that energy. You're stepping through into it. And this is because you've been having a third eye activation. You're really getting, who knows, maybe you've been getting headaches. Maybe you've been zapping things, like you touch something and it's constant electricity. Maybe you're just having weird visions, weird in the fact that you're not used to this, or you're not accepting it. Maybe you used to be afraid of it, and you're finally seeing that this is actually another way of seeing. You'd been kind of covering it up and going, I don't want to see this. And this is leading to realizing that you had the keys all along, that actually your vision, your third eye vision, was the key to understanding and stepping through. See, this is kind of a continuation. These are great cards. I pulled them one after the other. It was really great. And then you got Earth, nurture, nature. And this is like that you are stepping in. This third eye activation has led to you stepping through and creating, a more perfect world, an earth, that nurturing. Like, you can't help but be a nurturing, loving person and always tell the truth and be open. If you're having vision from your third eye, there's just no other way to see the world. There's no other way except to see the light. Maybe you are, seeing colors that you have never noticed before, noticing things that you have never noticed before. And it's really leading you to and have an awakening. And that can be a little scary. I don't want to lie to you. It can be a little frightening at first, when you don't realize what you're going through. Because, this is a 1 and a 4, 14, which condenses to a 5, which is change. And that concept has been coming up in my personal life, that change can be very scary. It can. That's just a reality. People are afraid of change. Even when change is good, it can be scary. Think about the first time that you were intimate with someone. That was change. That was going from one situation of being a single person, never knowing what it's like to actually be with another human being, to all of a sudden your concept has completely changed. Once you have those awakenings, once you step through, there isn't going back. Like, that's very important here. This is like a new way of being, an awakening. And people get very triggered by the word woke, but how are you gonna go through life and experience things if you're asleep? That's all it means, to wake up to things that you didn't know before, that you didn't experience, that you didn't accept, that you couldn't see. And that's okay. So your concern is, in this, I find interesting, is the devil. So, yes, you might be thinking the things that you are experiencing, these massive changes, these massive awakenings, these massive movements in your life has works of the devil. You've been taught that divination is of the devil, that seeing things is of the devil, that but think about this. We have the in Catholicism, which I used to be a practicing Catholic, we had the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and then we were eating the body and blood of like, think about that. That is the definition of, so like, be careful like what you go along blindly believing. Like, really take into consideration what you're being asked to do and what it represents and what that really means. Does working with light, working with power that creates love and abundance, how is that a bad thing? We've been taught that to keep us under control, because as long as we're consumed with the 3D and objects and beauty in ourselves, we're easy to control. And I get that you are branching out so much that you are not easy to control anymore. And that is causing people to feel really freaked out. So they're trying to use, oh yeah. And so the obstacle here is the Hierophant. This is that institutionalized authority that's saying like, what you're doing is work of the devil, while you're saying, well, what I'm doing is the work of a higher power. And they're going, well, no, unless it follows along with this strict idea of what that means, then you're not doing the correct thing. You're doing something evil. And, you know, look at how beautiful our churches are. Look at how beautiful our ceremonies are. And what are you doing? You're working with, you know, candles and I'm like, wait a minute. You know where I learned to work with candles is going and lighting candles to say prayers in the hall of the church I went to. So I learned these things actually I learned about, you know, rebirth and all these things from my institutions, my organized religions, and they were considered holy. So why, when I go home and I light candles and I light incense, which, you know, happened all the time, or I ring a bell, or that is something different. It's not. We were, you know, a long time ago, people didn't go to churches. They had communion at home. They had prayers at home. They welcomed people into their homes. You would never turn away someone. We have to lock our churches now. Like the church is locked. I can't find a single church that's open anymore during the day. And that's very sad. You know, like, we have turned the churches even against what the people, and they're now about the authority. And so I think more people are finding these small little ways to feel more connected to the earth, feel more connected to the divine, because we don't want to have to go through bureaucracy or having scandals or all these, like, people's egos involved in our connection with God, with the divine. And you know, that doesn't make you evil. That doesn't make you a devil worshiper. It doesn't make you have horrible vices because you like things a little different. You know, if you're not hurting people, it's not evil. Like, if it makes you happy and it makes the other person you're with happy, it's not evil just because people say it is. I mean, why are we so judgmental of others? Because we are constrained by these authorities, and that, you know, something we're doing is wrong and they're right. Wow, I thought that was a tenet in not to judge. You know, we all live in glass houses. Why are we throwing stones at each other? So what you know is that you have the 9 of Wands. This is what you know. You know that if you light the path, others will follow. They need you. Like, you know, I'm out here because I really know that there are people out there that need support, that need a light, that need some way to guide them closer to an energy that they feel more resonant with. That, you know, maybe they don't want all this negativity. Maybe watching endless, you know, readings about negativity and all these people doing this stuff and hashing up past things or things that you have tried to move forward on and really deal with. They're like setting fire to that and being like, hey, yeah, let's focus on this negative thing. And, you know, we're all guilty of that, watching programs and watching things and reading things that change our frequency, change our resonance. And this is saying that there is passion here. There is fire here. There is drive. You are laying your claim to your path, and you are lighting the path for others. You know, if you have nothing, you have something. You have a light. And someone else out there, their light is dimming. And you can provide a flame for them. And that flame will grow, and that will actually help you grow. So, you know, share that light. Like, you know, I think of the menorah here, and the fact that there was not enough oil to keep them lit, but they kept shining through the night, all those nights. And it was a miracle because they prayed and they shared and they had faith. And this isn't about a specific religion. I've mentioned different religions during this reading, which I never do, because people do get quite upset. But I think it's important that, you know, I have a lot of experience in different areas, and what I see them all is the true essence is the golden rule. And what ends up happening is all the conflict, all the rules, all the judgment gets in the way of what's truly important, which is being kind to one another. We are animals. We need to treat each other like we're a community. All of us human beings, no matter what, we are all Homo sapiens. We are, you know, I cannot imagine, you know, horses deciding, oh, you know, I don't like that horse. I'm going to have an issue with those horses over there. That doesn't happen in the animal kingdom. The only times that they do that is when they're the animal is doing something. They're sick, they're diseased, they act, you know, in ways that harm the others, and then the community gets rid of that energy. They're like, no, it's not about what, you know, oh, hey, that horse is better than that horse. It's just like, because it's got spots and that horse doesn't, or that horse is a black beauty, you know, black stallion, and that one is just a, you know, I don't know, some kind of, I don't know horses all that well. Don't even know why horses are coming up. Maybe horses are important to you. But my point here is, what's coming in is that we need to think of ourselves as a world. We are all connected. We are all connected with the divine. We are all connected to the earth. We are all connected through a network, and whether we identify that or not, it's still there. Like, we can deny all we want that, you know, we get a bad feeling and then it came true, and it's just like, no, it didn't. No, it didn't. I didn't foresee that. Why not? I mean, like, other animals can sense things and they protect themselves from getting eaten. You know, or, you know, what is the difference here? Like, what is the difference? So we can put on clothes and do our hair and do our makeup and put on jewelry and ornamentation and use these words that we assigned meaning to in a time that we assigned a meaning to, and money, which we assigned meaning to. It really doesn't mean anything. We are animals, and we are deciding that this is intelligence, that this is superiority. And we need to remember that when we lose touch with our animal natures, when we lose touch with the flow and the connection between everything, the trees, the fungi, huge networks between those, you know, going across the world. And that when we have a solar flare, it causes a geomagnetic connection under the crust of the earth, which causes the reaction to come together. And that causes an effect on our earth. That causes an effect on us. Like, we are all connected. This is all a network. and you are having that activation. You are seeing that it's all connected. What's unknown, and I got 4 cards. It's interesting, is you got the hanged person, and this is a change in perspective. This is getting to know things from a different place. The Ace of Cups, the Strength card, and the 7 of Cups. So I find this interesting because you are changing your perspective. What you don't know is that you actually see things from a different perspective. You may think that that's just normal, that's the way everyone thinks, and it's not. And that change, that difference, that acknowledgement that you think differently and you see things and you know things that others don't, that is kind of freaking you out. But you have you don't know that you have the strength. You can actually remove boundaries from yourself as easily as changing your perspective. And that you bring a cup, you bring knowledge and information to many. So that's what I get from this, that you don't know that you don't know that you have the ability to change your perspective, to see things from other people's vantage points, and you have the strength to free them from what constrains them and bring them emotional fulfillment and light and spiritual help as well. So, hey, maybe think about that. Do you realize who you are? Do you realize how special you are? Do you talk about, your friends or your family or other people in ways where they are like wonderful and this and that, but you're just, you're just you. So the past is the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So this is very solitary, energy. Is kind of like looking in, like just staying within, holding the cup, just doing it for yourself, needing to be alone, needing to be in solitude to feel grounded or connected. And that's a past energy. I don't get the feeling that you're having that anymore, because you have the 9 of Wands, this path. And see, we were talking about the magma, the geoelectric storms and the plumes, that connection. Okay, so maybe you were a little just overly emotional about what was going on in the past. And, there were things outside of yourself. See, like there's a squirrel coming up and there's a snake and frogs and fish and all this stuff is going on around this energy around you. And you have your eyes closed. You have your eyes closed and you think the answer is within yourself. And if you were to open your eyes, you would see the wonder that is around you. If you weren't off thinking in your head and, you'd see that it's swirling around you. Look at how many fish there are. That's, that's emotions, it's ideas, that's spiritual knowledge. So I don't think you knew that because you thought that being a spiritual person, being connected to the divine, meant that you had to go within, like constantly go within, find that internal space. And what you didn't realize until recently was as you've stepped through that it actually comes from interacting with others. The more you interact with others, the more you're seeing progress in your life. Because what's coming in is the King of Pentacles. And this is slow moving energy, but this is also abundance in the 3D world. This is really moving forward. This is the harvest. This is like fall right now, at least where I live. And so this harvest of, we've got wine and grapes, and so this is what's coming in. Figs, mushrooms. I mean, there's just everything here. And there's a lot of orange here, so I'm getting some sacral energy. So you are really sitting in in yourself, that core of who you are, that that central place. Sometimes, like I said, you have some definite fire here, and you have the Devil, and you have the King of Pentacles. I get from this like very fiery manifestation, this like moving forward. And once, because I think once you stepped through and really had this awakening, you started manifesting, because we got the Earth here and the Pentacles, this fertile land, this fertile environment, this fertile energy. I got really distracted. I'm not sure what happened there. It's getting really hot too. I think that might have something to do with it. It's like 97 degrees or something. So it's warm. It is hot, hot, hot. So what your state of mind is the Seven of Wands. Oh yes, I love this. So see, like, you're bringing forward, you're planting your path and lighting it, and then you're taking that forward too, because you're not only just having a location, you're like, hey, I'm gonna be here, you can talk to me here, or I'm there for this person or that person, but you're also bringing it forward. You realize that not everybody can just find a light. Some people are hermiting themselves, some people are scared still, so you're bringing it forward, and that takes immense strength, which we were talking about earlier, that you have, that you don't realize how strong you are. But I do see now that you're pulling that forward, you're bringing that forward, you're bringing that into the world. So let's see what your surroundings bring. Let's see. And I love looking down the card, see if I see anything that I have not picked up on. Yeah, I mean, I just get that there may be a lot of things that you're sticking to that by the book. Like, okay, it's fine if, oh, that's funny. We started off with the Devil, and in your surroundings is Judgment and the Devil. So yeah, this might be why, like, you got to remember, you have the strength to free others. That means you have the strength to free yourself. This is some self-imposed judgment, because, you know, you have been surrounded by authoritarian ideas. And the Devil is, you know, in this card is holding on to others. And in this card, this is just one person in a cage. And you're kind of judging yourself, I feel. Like you're keeping yourself restrained, so that because the people around you might be feeling like kind of judging you in that way. They might be being really judgmental, putting you in a bubble, and not in a good way, putting you in that cage, and being like, because of your ideas, because of what you're saying, because of the way you're changing, because you're moving in a different direction that I'm not accustomed to, I'm going to judge you. I'm going to tell everybody else that what you're doing is bad. That's toxic. That's toxic. Remember what we were talking about, glass houses, you know, like the thing about this is the Judgment card here. Whoa, that flipped out. The Judgment card here is they're in bubbles. Do you know how easy it is to pop a bubble? It's extremely easy. So you are the same here. This cage is unlocked. So you have to decide that you're not going to let your surroundings keep you trapped. And I don't think you are, because your hopes and fears are the Ace of Pentacles, this treasure. So your fear is that once you open Pandora's box, it's going to be, you can't ever close Pandora's box. Once you step through and you open the Pandora's box, you can't close it. And that's what you're hopeful about and what you're afraid of, because your life will forever change. Once you really, truly, you know, go into this world, once you really, truly decide that you want to look inside and let everything out, there's no going back. You cannot go back once you've walked through. And so I think that's scaring you a little bit. It's super exciting. Like we were talking about, change can be terrifying, but it can be amazing. And what you don't know is, like I said, you can just change your perspective. And you can live in many different realms, many different worlds. And you have the strength. And what you got as your likely outcome is the Three of Pentacles. And I love this. This is, you are creating your own way of seeing things. You're planning and working hard. See, like, this is really cool. The sun is shining through the pentacles, and it's changing the shadows it's creating. You could create anything you want, and that is the likely outcome. You know, stepping through here. See, I love this because right here on her, this stepping through, here's this crystalline, I forget what that's called, that shape. But, you know, here we have, you're working on creating that out in the world so that others can see it. Ah, that's great. Oh my gosh, I love that. So you are using your knowledge to create, like, I mean, even here, this looks very similar to this lattice right here. And you've got a badger. Oh, and look, it's like working with animals and working with fairies and working with different skills and, you know, painting and wood carving and doing all these different things, working with plants. So, you know, really working with all the elements and working with things that you wouldn't normally think, you know, are important. You know, people who work with animals actually have a better sense of how nature works. I was just talking to my child about this. You know, veterinarians are actually more system doctors than human doctors, because they work with the entire animal. If they have a dermatological problem or a gastrointestinal problem or you know, whatever they're having, you know, the condition I have is better studied in veterinary science than it is with human beings, because humans dissect into parts a human body, and then they treat these things, and they never speak to each other, so they don't really know what's going on systematically with a human being. But vets do. So really, like, looking at nature, looking at plants, going outside the box, not limiting yourself, really embodying all these different modalities, and you'll really come up with a more cohesive way of being. So that was an interesting story. I liked it, but it was a little different than I normally tell, but I really enjoyed it. So if you stayed for the story, I'm really happy you did. I hope you like, subscribe, comment, share, and turn on little notifications. It really helps the channel. I don't want to get lost out there with all the other things in the algorithm. So work with the system and work within the system to create a broader system. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.